you just tuned in, that's Kenny Lattimore. By the way, hello.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
We didn't even greet. We just got into it, man. We just got into it. Welcome back.
Thank you. You know, it's the passion of being here at Kaya. It's like, man, I'm so excited to be back.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm glad that we managed to, go past the cloud that is COVID-19.
Yes.
And here we are. We are still standing to tell the story.
Still standing.
Yeah,
Yes.
still standing.
Huge. And it's interesting that we're at the Sun Arena again.
Yes.
Because I was one of the first, if not the first, to... I'm looking around like, man, was I the first
Yeah.
to be an international artist?
She's nodding.
To do that.
Miss Soulful Nights is nodding. So
I was the first one to do it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She agrees. She agrees.
So now we're back. So this is like a reset.
Wonderful. Now, you said, T, I trust you with the music because I think there's some stories that was never been told.
Sure.
Right? You talk about how... Maybe let me play the song first.
Okay, sure. And then,
Yeah, and then...
We'll do the backstory.
Yeah. I don't want to lead you.
Okay.
You tell me. Because this right here... Oh, my gosh.
A lot of backstory to this.
I think we can go home now.
Woo! And that was the amazing Layla Hathaway with me, Kenny Lattimore. Amazing. The backstory, you want the backstory?
Yeah.
So I hear this musical track while I'm working on Anatomy of a Love Song. It was Vidal Davis. So Vidal is from the Jazzy Jeff crew that did the From the Soul of Man project.
Yeah.
So I gave...
Isn't the same guy with Jill Scott?
Yes.
Yes.
So in the history, I gave Vidal, Andre Harris, Carvin Hagens, there were a group of them, their first commercial shot, if you will, with the Love Jones movie.
Oh, yeah.
And then from there, I was like, you guys are so good. I want you to work on this album I have, From the Soul of Man. So we do that album. That was their first credits. And of course, they all became superstar producers.
Yes.
From Usher to Ciara to whoever you name it, they've all produced. Michael Jackson, they produced him. So we're working on Anatomy of a Love Song, and I make a few calls because I'm like, I need to do some stuff, but I can't even afford you guys. I can't afford you anymore. Yeah. And he comes in and he says, I have this track. And he gives me this song. And I was like, wow. I didn't know what to do with it at first. It felt like jazz and gospel together. Mm-hmm. So I first called Letticy, and I said, Letticy, listen to this. And she said, I love this track. Oh, my gosh. And but her schedule was really full. She was doing a lot of touring during that time period. And this is still a little prior to Layla Hathaway's Angel.
Oh.
This is a little before that. So Layla and I had been friends for years. Even her sister Kenya used to be one of my backup singers. And we started talking about it, and she said, I'd love to do it, let's go in. But she didn't have any ideas about writing. So I said, don't worry, I'm going to write. And I started writing this thing, no, nothing like you, da, 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 da. And I started writing the verses. And she helped me to kind of perfect some rough edges in it.
Nice.
And then she brought her A game, of course, that she does all the time to the studio. The other thing that was interesting about the session, because we're in the room at the same time, I'm helping, I guess, producer.
So this was not virtual, she's another city and you're here, just send me.
I was like, wow, I loved the direction she went. And that happens sometimes in duets where a person will bring a run or just something that's uniquely them, and you don't want to be in the way of that.
True.
So you go back and you re-record something that will complement what they did a little bit better.
Love that.
So I really allowed her to set the tone of things and worked around what she did.
You say in the very same production team, there was a son to a great Leon Hudson.
Woo. Now, he was the Quincy Jones of that album, meaning I wanted to have one person who made sure that the album was consistent from start to finish.
That's right.
No matter who else worked on it, which reminded me of Quincy Jones letting Rod Temperton or different people come in, and they all submitted their songs and had their sound.
Yeah.
But Quincy oversaw it to say, okay, let's maybe change the order of things, or this instrument will help to string the entire project together.
Yeah.
You know, it's a definite art form that J.R. Hudson came in and he did. Wonderful experience.
And the reason I bring it up is because you say J.R. Hudson's dad and Donny Hathaway.
Wow. The history. You know, you have all of this history that I didn't even think about at the time. I really didn't.
Sure, yeah.
J.R. had just done this amazing song for Music Soul Child called Beautiful.
Oh.
And I was like, I want to work with that guy. You know? And as we start to work together, these pieces, you know, Layla coming in and Kelly Price came in. And, so many different people. Shanice came in. Different people came from different cities.
Sure.
And brought their talents in. And that album, I think it ended up being one of my best albums all the way around.
Yeah. The Anatomy of a Love Song.
The Anatomy of a Love Song.
Yes.
Wow. It's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
To have that experience. And that was my first my try at doing an independent project.
And you did it well.
Yeah.
There
now,
you go.
okay, now let me tell you another layer of that story.
Oh, yeah, I'm listening.
This is another layer, because you let me talk here. Huh? You got to shut me up in a minute.
Listen, no, it's your show. Come on.
I was here in South Africa for like a month. It was during, when was that? Like 2015 or 14 or 15? It was during December. And I was supposed to come in and do like 1 or 2 shows.
Yeah.
Botswana, and then I was coming here to Mpumalanga somewhere.
Yeah.
And then I was supposed to go back.
Yeah.
And I got a couple of phone calls, and people were saying, hey, can you stay and do another show?
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my gosh, so I had to call Mandisa. I said, Mandisa, help me. Because I would love to. I talked to the band, and it seemed like it happened every week for about 3 weeks.
Yeah.
So I would go to the band and I would say, hey, do you guys want an adventure? I would say it just like that. I would say it just like that. I said, do you want to go on an adventure? Yeah. And they would say, yeah. I said, well, we can stay another week if you want. We can go to another city called Kimberley. And then we can go to another city called Lesotho. And we can go to all these, we've gone to all these different cities.
Yeah.
But honestly, that trip paid for this album.
What?
That trip paid for the album because I was here. I had paid the money out of my pocket, for the recordings and all that. But the longer I stayed here, I would just send the money home.
And all right, South Africa, that's our record.
See?
Southern Africa, that's our...
There's your record.
Anatomy of a Love Song, it's ours.
Never told anybody that. This is an exclusive.
Is there a BT award, something? Is there an award attached to that album?
No, unfortunately, no. It should have been. I think it should
have been, because...
Everything I went through, but no.
We were going to expropriate. Oh, this is Kenny Lattimore. He's in the country tomorrow, live on stage, Sun Arena, Pretoria. You have the tickets. You don't? You better get them. Do you remember the year?
Wow. This was probably 97 or 98. It was the first request for me to do a feature. And I heard this guy, Peter White, he's doing this song, and he's more, smooth jazz.
Yeah.
And they think you could do this and it would be big. And I remember he said, it's a Joni Mitchell song, and I hadn't heard it.
Yeah.
So someone did a demo, and the demo was fantastic.
Yeah.
So I listened to it, and I was like, what do you want me to do with this?
Yeah.
So I thought, okay, we'll smooth it out a little bit, and then I came up with the Wish I Had a River. I came up with the hook because I said it needs a hook.
Yeah.
Because it didn't have any other. I mean, the hook is, I wish I had a river. But I wanted it to have another more radio kind of hook. Yeah. So I wrote that, and wish I had a river. That was my whole thing.
Yeah.
And it was a great door that just opened. And all of a sudden I had requests, and of course from there I've been out with Dave Kaz and Brian Culbertson and so many people.
My favorite keyboardist of all time. Come on now.
I haven't heard that in so long either. This is crazy.
This song gives me goosebumps all the time.
Thank you.
Because it's a song that says here you are. You may have your own issues and anxieties or even past experiences, voices in your head, but you know she got you.
Yeah, yeah.
There she is.
No other
Are you
feeling.
going to take this moment now or are you going to just let her pass by?
Yeah. That's, oof. It's a tough place to be.
It is a tough place to
Yeah,
be.
but it's a place where you have to focus to make a good decision.
And
good choice.
again-
Make a good choice, right?
But, and again, your intentions better be clear,
yeah,
better be good,
yeah.
because you don't want to be wasting her time.
That's
too.
right. That's right.
Come on, Kenny. Preach on, brother. I see the church now. I see the church now.
It's funny how a song can really bring out some tough topics of emotion, particularly for we guys.
Yes.
But at the same time, the music helps us to express who we are.
True.
When we don't know the words.
True.
That was one of the focuses that I had when I was doing From the Soul of Man. It was saying the things that we don't always say.
True.
Or maybe we don't even know how to say. So
I think that's why music is such a communal thing. That's why we own it so much.
absolutely.
Because once you write it and once it lands on us, it's no longer yours, it's now ours.
That's right.
Right? It's now ours.
And it becomes the soundtrack to our lives.
Exactly.
So anytime we have a memory, you can listen to a song and actually the song can trigger the memory.
First time hearing this song was played by the late great Eddie Zondi.
Ah, yes.
I was
Eddie
like,
Zondi.
that guy had an ear, man.
Yeah.
He will go through an album, and he later sort of shared with me because we once worked together.
Yes.
When he gets an album, he puts it in this car and he will drive around to and fro from work.
Yes.
Until something says to him, stop here. You need to repeat this one here.
Wow.
And that's how he landed on this song. And immediately, no Shazam on the day, right? Remember, you needed to call him.
To find
Like
out
he's
who
a
it was.
colleague, I can call him and says, what is this? He says, it's Brian Culbertson featuring Kenny.
Wow. Amazing.
Yo!
I love it. I love it. In America, radio is so different now because I think that there were the art of being a disc jockey and choosing songs that sometimes affected different regions differently.
Yeah.
Now we have more corporations that own, and I mean, it may be like that here too a little bit, but when the corporations bought out a lot of the smaller radio stations, the playlists got smaller, and then it became a situation where we're looking at numbers. And numbers are saying, I think that our audiences will like this particular song and this, and as opposed
Algorithms
to
are driving it.
yeah, algorithms are driving instead of our emotion and our feeling as human beings. And that thing that makes us love music as human beings is then lost.
It's gone.
So I appreciate that story a lot.
We still have Kaya.
Yeah. Hey.
We'll be right back. By the way, South Africa, you gave Kenny a Xhosa name that means sincere. It's got a click in it, and he's struggling to tell it to me. It sounds like he's speaking in tongues. Please help. All
Help
right,
us.
help.
It's in Xhosa.
Yes.
So come on.
So
Come on, help me.
at least he can say Xhosa, but he can't say his name. All he remembers is that it means
means sincere.
So please kindly remind us because he definitely needs to put it in his passport. Otherwise,
Hey.
there'll be troubles. Who would you travel miles? Who would you travel and stamp your passport for to go see live?
I think maybe Sade.
Oh,
You don't get to see Sade very often.
never get to see
You never get to
Sade.
And I think the times that I know she was out with John Legend at one point, and during the tour, I think I was working the whole time.
Yeah.
And I missed.
But it
the
was
show.
in the UK, right?
I think it went around the world. I thought it did, but wherever I was, I just know that I missed that tour, and there was a lot of footage. I think she did a video or something during that, and I look at that footage and be like, oh, if I could have just had been there. I think that when an artist watches other artists, particularly at that caliber, you get so many ideas.
Yeah.
And possibilities, when you look at what they do with their staging, lighting, each song, how they bring the song in, it's I love the art of that because it's like the art of storytelling through music.
Yeah.
Who would you go and see?
I'm glad Gregory Porter is coming.
Oh,
because the last time he was
is
here,
really good.
The last time I was here, I missed it. Like you, I had a gig list that I needed to satisfy.
Gotta work.
Yeah, gotta work. January is here, so I'm gonna be able to watch him.
Great.
Anita Baker, she did come through here, but the venue was bad, the sound was bad.
Oh, okay.
And she wanted to give us the best, man. You know?
Yeah.
And now seeing her posting yesterday with Babyface.
Can you believe that? I wish I.
There's something that you guys do when you perform back home that we don't get to experience when you are doing a tour.
Okay.
Because here it's like, if we are lucky, you'll give us a 75-minute set.
Sure.
Most of the time it's 1 hour. That's
Right.
it, gone. But when you're back home,
Yeah, they can get 2
Collaborations.
hours or whatever. People come up with stage. Yeah.
because you never know who's in the audience.
So true.
Right?
Prince
So-
used to do that.
Yes.
Yeah. He used to do that a lot.
I remember watching a James Brown.
Yeah.
And then Prince was there. The next thing, Michael is.
Yep, at the same show.
I was like, I'm moving.
Yeah. That is a blessing. It is a blessing a lot of times, particularly if you're in New York or Los Angeles. That's where a lot of people reside. So when you go in, you just never know. And those people get on stage and create magic. And
Who came to your show and you were?
did they come on stage though?
But they were in the audience though.
Yeah, I remember when I first started my career, like Halle Berry and a lot of the actresses in Hollywood would come, and I'd be like, "Whoa!" Like,
Yeah.
it would make me kind of nervous.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
And oh gosh, I've had so many people. A lot of this is a person who Randy Crawford was at my show one time. And all I could think of was how legendary, she was and the stuff she did with the Crusaders. And she's in the back of the room, and I could hear, because I acknowledged her, and I could hear her sing out, I think it was the Someday I'd Fly Away or something. And she sang a little bit back to me, and I just was like, wow, Randy Crawford is in my... Unbelievable.
You back in the country, you know what your fans, the family now, love to hear. Obviously, we must throw in a few surprises here and there. Surprises?
You know what I do a lot of times? I'll ask the audience on the spot.
Oh, wow.
What do you want to hear?
Oh, wow.
And it's kind of tough because
that's magic.
Sometimes I don't remember the words.
And
Even if it's a song I wrote, I'll be like, oh, I don't remember. But if I can get a piece of it, I'll be like, oh, wait a minute. They're asking for something that I know was not a number one hit or whatever that anybody knows, and I'll go for it. That happened with someone very famous who I went to do a program for him, and when I went in to do sound check, he says, I want you to come around and sing for me and my friend Ahmad Rashad. And it was the great Michael Jordan. And I was like, okay, no problem. But he says, but I want you to sing Forever. And I was like, oh my gosh, do I even know Forever? I said, but the fact that you know Forever means that you're a real fan. You really like this album and like my music. So I had to pull it out though. And thank God I was with Barry Eastman, who produced for you.
Sure.
And for whatever reason, Barry knew that song.
Wow.
I was like, well, how? And so he just starts playing it on
You just made me. You just gave me something to remember. I remember watching his documentary.
Yeah.
And he's in the bus with Walkman, jamming your CD.
Yeah, isn't that great? That was a huge endorsement.
He's bragging to his teammates. And like, what are you listening to? He says, it's my boy. Kenny Lattimore, you don't know him. It's new. And it keeps on bumping. I was like, that must be the biggest thing ever.
It was huge. My phone blew up. Everybody tried to text or call me, like in real time. I saw it like everybody else.
Yes.
Now, I knew it was coming because they had to clear days like this for that particular segment. But the way that it happened, the ESPN people, they call and they just say, hey, we want to use your song. We're going to ask him who he's listening to. He's going to say Kenny Lattimore, period. Well, for me, I was like, yes, I know Michael Jordan is a fan, and that's fine. We go back to he wanted Never Too Busy to be the song for his cologne launch, and that didn't happen because of some other reasons. I didn't write that particular song, so I couldn't control it. Yeah, but that was all they told me. So watching him bopping on the bus and the whole thing, and the other, he's a friend of mine, and he's this and that, the other, he's bragging.
And he's bragging.
He's bragging like it's exclusive. Like you can't get this. This is. I had no idea that it was going to be any of that. So it was brilliant, a brilliant experience.
Look back to the 21-year-old leaving DC to LA, Charlie Wilson on stage. What do you say to the young Kenny?
That you can take a deep breath. Take a deep breath and not take yourself too serious.
Yeah.
You can relax. It's okay and have fun.
Yeah.
I came from classical music, and I came from singing the American Songbook, like Tony Bennett, Nat King Cole, and Frank Sinatra. So my approach to performing and everything was I had to be perfect. I wanted people to know that I was the person who was singing these songs. So I would try to sing it note for note, like everything. If it was a high note, that I was going to have to hit it. And I could have relaxed because I didn't really have anything to prove at that level. As long as I sound like me, and then I don't skimp the audience or what have you, I'd be okay. And I didn't know that. Yeah. Having that freedom makes the performance different. Rochelle Farrell taught me that as well. I was on tour with George Duke and Rochelle Farrell, and she came up to me one day and said,
"This man is throwing big names, man."
Oh man, this is just stuff that happened, man. She says, "You're a good singer. You're really a good singer, but you're not free."
Ooh.
And I said, "What? This is
come on.
After I've had hits and after you're not free."
Yes.
And she said, I want you to come out on one of my songs. I'm going to invite you out on stage during this tour, and I want you to make up a part in real time in front of this audience to one of the songs that I know that you know of mine." And every night we would go out there until I was free.
Lady Rochelle, are you here to stay?
Oh, yes, I am here to stay. I'm dedicated to the love songs because I'm dedicated to the fans. I'm dedicated to you. And there have been times when I thought about walking away from it for different reasons, not because I don't like the music. Sometimes it's been about the music industry. Yeah. And those are the times I had to pray and say, God, there has to be a greater purpose to this, because it can't be the money and the success. Okay, once you have all of that, then you have to dream a new dream. And I started to pray, and God gave me something. He said, your legacy has always been to sing to the hearts of women and the minds of men, to encourage them in love. So if you keep doing that, you'll be all right. So when I go on stage, I don't care how tired I might be or frustrated about whatever happened during the day, I stop and I go, wait a minute, I'm getting ready to go on stage to the hearts of men and to the hearts of women and the minds of men, to the hearts of women and the minds of, I have to stop and do that and prepare myself for the real purpose.
Here to Stay is his recent, as in 2021, release.
Yes.
There's a song there, Take a Dose of This.
Yeah. We'll sing it tomorrow too.
Wonderful. You must listen to that song.
Thank you.
Be lost in the lyrics.
Thank you. And we're top 10 in the U.S. on Take a Dose right now. So I'm really excited that after all these years, we're still celebrating new successes and new heights. You
have a Christmas album dropping?
We have a Christmas album from a few years back, just called A Kenny Lattimore Christmas. And the great Aaron Lindsay, who you all know from Israel Houghton and a lot of the I did it as a gospel project because I hadn't done one. So I did my Christmas album as a gospel project, but it has some traditional Christmas songs on it as well. And I got to get that to you. I got to get that one to you too as well.
Kenny, we love you here, man.
Love you back.
Keep shining, brother.
Thank you.